Ready.
Welcome to episode 49 of the Go Get 'em Agility podcast. My name is Margaret Hughes, and I'm your host, along with my daughter and EOJ alumni,
Oh,
Emma Hughes.
hi.
All right, so what does EOJ stand for?
Well, it is the old acronym for European Open Junior. I think they might have had a little bit of a English language translation error there.
So what's it called
And
now?
it's called the Junior
Open
AWC, Junior Open AWC,
JOAWC is Junior Open Agility World
the World
Championship.
Championships.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why are we talking about it?
Well, it's this weekend, as we're speaking on Thursday, July 18th. And it is super fun. It is free to watch on Four Legged Flicks. So if you just go to their website.
With a donation.
Yes, they encourage
donation.
donation.
Donation is appreciated.
Yes. And it is a fantastic event. The Junior Agility World Championship. So kids from all around the world. When I was competing, it was what? 50 countries, I think.
I think
It might be more
it was
now.
about 500 dogs,
Yeah.
right?
Um,
I think
yeah.
it's 25 countries.
Okay, I might have the 5 in my head then there.
But
I'm sure there's more now.
Yes,
Rumor
there
has
are.
it that Brazil's joined. Um, who else has joined?
Thailand's
Probably
there this year.
Thailand's there. That's cool.
Lithuania's there this year.
Yeah, so
Ireland.
a lot of very talented countries.
Let me go through them. Let's see.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go
Ready?
through the
Here we
fun
go.
ones. Yeah.
Germany, Belgium, USA, France, Netherlands, Austria, Brazil, Thailand, Ireland, Costa Rica, Canada, Estonia, Luxembourg, Greece, Lithuania, Hungary, Portugal, Slovenia, Slovakia, Poland, Denmark, Ukraine, Norway, Czech Republic, Finland, Great Britain, Italy, Switzerland, Spain, Sweden, and that's it.
That's it. Cool. And I know that some countries go back and forth. Canada used to be in it, and so did Japan. So it kind of just depends on, if you have enough people to go. And you, as a kid, so it's people under the age of 18 or 18 and under, and they section it off. It used to be, I believe, for me when I was competing, it was 12 and under certain groups, and then it was 15 and under certain groups, and then it was 18 and under. That might be wrong. I can't quite remember.
It's called the U12, U15, and U19. So
19,
U19
yeah.
means that you're under 19 years old. So that includes your 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
So under 12,
right.
Then it would be 13 to 15, and then 16 to 18 years.
Just because they figured that having a 6-year-old compete against an 18-year-old might not be the most fair thing in the world.
However, you also run on a team.
Yes.
So you can and probably are grouped up with your 15 and 19-year-old comrades. Teammates, and the teams, if you have enough from your own country, you're on your own country's team, which is comprised of 4 dog handler teams, right? And then if you don't have enough in your country, then you're paired up with other countries who also don't have enough for a mixed team group, right?
Yeah. And they call you the international team. And so instead of being Team USA or Team Poland, you are just Team International.
So your very first year that you were on Team USA, where did you go?
We were in Slovakia, and it was me and another girl called Natalie Spinsky, who is a brilliant, wonderful, awesome handler who has made the EO team many times. And it was us 2, and we were paired with Poland, 2 other Polish small dogs. And we didn't do very well. We were 13 years old and very scared. Natalie did really well individually, but our team did not do particularly well. But that's okay. We made friendships. We traded jerseys. It was really, really fun. And yeah, it was just such a what?
And then the second year that you went where?
We went to Luxembourg, and that's when it kind of caught fire in the United States. We went from my very first year, it was 10 kids. Before I was there, I think it was even like 7 kids, like back in 2015, if I remember correctly. And then 2017, it caught fire. There were 22 people on the team. We had actual full teams. We had 4 small dogs. We were very excited. We had a Team USA for small dogs. And yeah, it was in a really, really pretty venue, like in the Luxembourg, like in the hills of Luxembourg. It was really pretty. Um, and yeah, what else?
Okay,
It's been
so
a really
then
long time,
you're
so I'm
all right.
like,
So
all the
then,
memories are coming back.
all right. So year one, you were Slovakia. Year two, you're Luxembourg. Year three, and this was all with Millie, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Watermark
So
Millionaire.
year three,
Yes.
year three,
We went to the Netherlands,
the Netherlands.
which is probably my favorite one. I quite enjoyed the Netherlands. That was Millie's most successful year, and she did very well for me. And it was
You
at
were
this gorgeous horse arena, and I remember the sand. We ran on a sand felt mixture, and it was so cool. And I really want to run on it again.
and you were on a full team USA
Yes,
small
I
dog.
think at that point we had like 25 people all together. It even got to the point where we had two big dog teams and two medium dog teams. So there were eight big dogs, eight medium dogs. Might have even been more or less. I can't remember exactly. And then my final year, we were in Switzerland. So Millie injured herself, and I think we got on the team in the March or the in late February, and Millie injured herself like 2 weeks after, if I remember correctly. And she couldn't come back from that. And so I was very graciously handed one of the alternate dogs, which happened to be EO superstar Hetty Poodle from Susan Cogran. And yeah, that was a blast. That was such a strange feeling running somebody else's dog at a massive, massive, massive competition. And Hetty and I did really well. And by really well, she stayed with me. We didn't actually do well running wise. I think we eat every run, but we had about what 2 hours combined running time together. So we never practiced before together. We had never run in competition together before. We had never I never had a dog that could play with toys. She was like, "You don't know what you're doing." And I was like, "Yes, Hetty, I don't." And but we had some moments of brilliance. We had one run that was really, really pretty, and I timed it. And if we hadn't E'd, we would have been third on the podium. So that was really fun to know.
That was with an off course.
Yeah, that was with a fault.
Yeah, she was a
Um,
fast little dog.
yeah, she was a fast
All
little
right,
dog.
and so that was your last year that Millie was on the team for Team Switzerland, but you ended up running Hetty Poodle as an alternate,
Yes,
and so then
yes.
Millie retired.
Millie did retire
All right,
quite happily.
and
And that's when the dot came in. Oh
Dot came
dear.
in, and Dot made the next year as well. Uh,
Yeah.
her first year on Team USA.
She was super, super young. She was just out of open. And I remember at the time, I don't know what it is now. I don't know the
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that dog.
you'll probably have it on your screen right now.
I
I don't.
do.
I'm just staring at us talking.
I do.
And I remember at the time you had to be out of open. And that was a new rule too. When I first went to EOJ, there was no rule about that for Team USA. They just said, hey, you have a good dog. By the time Dot got on the team, you had to be out of open in AKC and you had to prove it and you had to send in a run. Um, I remember that I remember sending in open runs, but I also remember sending in ISC runs. I don't
Yeah, or
remember why I did that. That must have been a requirement.
I
We had to
think I
prove
think
that
it was
Dottie could jump 12.
a premier run.
I remember doing it one ISC because it was the Border Collie Classic.
Okay.
And I sent in the Border Collie Classic run. That was one of my favorite runs ever.
Okay.
But it was interesting to do that with a young dog. I forgot to mention that EOJ, I don't know how it's structured now, but when I went, your dog had to jump either 12, 16, or 24 inches.
Yeah, that's changed.
And yeah, I believe that's changed. I believe they have more height
I'll,
groups now, which is
yeah,
awesome.
I'll talk about that. We'll talk about
Oh,
that.
good to good to know. And so, but it was hard because I run my both my Shelties at 8 inches. What's it called? Preferred. And so we had to build them up from 8 to 12, which is a lot of height for a little dog. And we had to do that before we even registered for them, before we even applied for the event. And
Right. So
so there's a lot of work behind the scenes for that.
so the video submissions that you made had to be at their jump height.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember the open was to prove that she was out of open and in excellent. And then I sent in more that says, hey, she can jump 12. I know the video thing, if you are not from the United States, you're probably thinking a video. Why are you sending in videos? Most of the other countries uh, did junior EO tryouts, like proper ones that you had to go to an event you had to win or you had to do really well. So much like EO, AWC, all the big events. The United States, I don't know for sure why we don't do an actual tryout, though I do have an inkling that it's because we are just so massive and all of our juniors are so scattered, like every competitor is in agility, that I think it is a lot of time and it is a lot of money. And I think that we have been incredibly successful with the videos. Team USA, the junior Team USA is an incredibly successful team. So I think that the formula that they've got going with the videos is working, and I think it works really well.
Yeah, and we do have some national competitions that I know that the coaches do attend, or at least one of them will attend some of the big national competitions, and so they get a flavor for the juniors that are attending the national competitions. I also believe that they stalk you all on Facebook and YouTube and all that to, get a good flavor of where you're at. They also ask for recommendations from your trainer, trainer or friend, somebody that knows your dog and has seen your dog jump in person. So, they do some due diligence in the way that they do select our junior Team USA.
Yeah.
So just real quick, going back to Dottie. So Dottie was your last year. You were 18 years old. She was your last year, last dog, and you were headed to Finland.
And well, that was Dottie made the team twice actually, and they were both COVID years.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was 18 in 2021. But yeah, no, you're pretty pretty much right. Yeah, we're headed to Finland.
She made the team for Finland, which never happened.
No.
And then the year after that, it was an online.
No, she made the team. She made the team for Portugal because they thought, oh, maybe COVID will, not be a thing. But they announced it pretty early on. They're like, well, I think they announced the team, and then like 2 weeks later, they're like, guys, we can't do this.
So she was your year 17 and 18 then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So she was going to Finland, and then she was also going to Portugal, but both of those were canceled, and Portugal put on the video virtual EO.
Yeah, which was fun in itself.
That was pretty cool.
That was super cool.
So that was EO judges, EO courses, and we had to submit your video submissions within an hour of you running.
Yeah, it was a whole like system, and it was against quite a few countries, against people. I vividly remember watching the British team's videos. I was very impressed with them. And yeah, it had to be in a certain course in a certain area. So you had to have like a certain flat area for it. And you had to submit, like Mom said, in a certain amount of time. And I remember that we were really, really, really honest with our videos. So I sent in videos that I eat on. I had one run and that was it. Yeah. Though I would imagine you probably could have done multiple runs if you really wanted to, but we were really good about that. We did not do that. No. I remember we sent in a run that all of us went on the wrong side of a jump because it was numbered wrong.
Yeah.
And
that was so sad.
I know, we had such good runs, and Dottie ended up doing really, really well at that. She got second individually and third overall. And she got a really cute little, it actually wasn't little, she got a massive ribbon in the mail about 3 years later from the AKC. They said, hey, we're so sorry. We meant to send this out and it just must have gotten lost. Here is your third place ribbon from Portugal. And it's a massive ribbon. And it says Junior Online Open or whatever on it. It's bigger than Dottie is. And I was very proud of that.
Yeah, that's fun. And now that team, because the U.S. country is so big, we had, I think, at least two teams. One was in the Midwest, and then we were the West Coast.
Yeah. So we had little jerseys that said West Coast Team USA.
Yeah. All right. So we've
it was fun.
Covered all of you. Covered a little bit of the history of EOJ turning into the JOAWC, I think they call it.
Yeah, I believe it changed in either 2018 or 2019. I can't remember exactly.
And So let's just go over some of the reasons that you think juniors should apply, and
Yeah.
then let's talk about some of the requirements.
Yeah.
So,
I would like to say really, really, really fast. I would imagine that not a lot of our listeners are under the age of 18. That is okay. Juniors are not a massive agility demographic, but I genuinely, genuinely believe that if you have a kid or even a young person, or a grandkid or somebody that you know, that might be interested in agility, EOJ JWalk is a massive, massive reason, or it's a massive goal for them if they wanted to do something like that. So it's just to say, not everything is EO. There are accommodations for younger people.
yeah, and if you know any junior that does agility, please pass on the word about this organization or about this competition, because it is literally memory making and life changing.
Yeah, it changed my life for
All right,
sure.
so let's talk a little bit about it. So in the United States, it is affiliated with the AKC, the American Kennel Club. It runs under FCI rules. So FCI rules allow purebreds and mixed breeds. Um, let's see, there are three. So it's for juniors that will be uh, 19 and under, 18 and under. Yeah, 18 and under on the year that the competition is. Let's see. You must have an AKC junior number. You must be a resident that possesses a United States passport. You must have be accompanied by a parent who also possesses a passport, a valid passport. So juniors do not go over by themselves. They have to be accompanied by a family or a parent that will take care of them while they're over there. So this is not a junior only with the coaches adventure. This is a little bit of a family adventure, really, or at least one parent family adventure. Um, so that's junior eligibility. The dog eligibility, they must have AKC titles of OA, so open agility, and open agility jumpers at the time of the application, or meet the ISC course requirements as stated in the chart below. So the minimum age that they can be competing at for the junior open is 24 months. No, so different countries. So this next one is no cropped tails and no cropped ears allowed, but that's country dependent. So they're in Belgium this year, and so Belgium has a no cropping, no docking law or rule in their country, and so the AKC goes by what the host country allows. They must be current on rabies. They must have a microchip, a 15-digit microchip. And there's all rules on that. Let's talk about the height divisions. So
Oof, yeah.
when you went, there were 3 divisions: small, medium, large.
Yeah.
Now there's 4 divisions:
Awesome.
small, medium, intermediate, and large.
Yeah, because 16 to 24, that is a massive jump. I remember we would have dogs that measured in at, like, I think the cutoff is 17 inches for 16, for medium. And I remember when I went, we would have dogs that were like 18 inches tall and they were jumping 24. And I mean, they did it. They were impressive, but yeah, I'm glad that they've added another category.
All right, so small is they'll jump 12 inches, and that's for dogs that measure less than 35 centimeters at the shoulder, and that's 13 and 3/4 inches. Medium dogs is 16 inches, and so they measure from 35 centimeters or more, but less than 43 centimeters. So between 13 and 3/4 inches and 16 and 7/8 inches at the shoulder. Intermediate jump 20 inches, and they measure between 43 centimeters and 48 centimeters. So that's 16 and 7/8 to 18 and 7/8 inches. And then last is the large dogs at 24 inches, and they're measuring 48 centimeters or more. So taller than 18 and 7/8 inches at the shoulder. There are 8 dogs allowed for each height division.
Oh, okay.
So 8 dogs allowed in each height division, which I think when you went, you had 3 large dog teams, right?
I think you might be right. Yes, we it got really, really, really popular just before COVID.
Yeah. So
But I remember we had to do a little bit of shuffling because at the time I believe it was 20 dogs maybe, or no, we had like 3 large dog teams, but you couldn't have like a ton of people in the other teams, so we only had one medium and one small.
right.
But I think in theory you could go with like 4 small dog teams if you really wanted to.
No,
Um,
no, it was 32 dogs per country.
right, but if all your 32 dogs are small, you can make that. I think, I don't know.
Well,
I
no,
don't
it
know. I'm
says
not a
here 8
coach.
dogs allowed in each division, so I don't know.
Well, we definitely
Because
did not have eight
then you'd
dogs
only
back in
have,
the day
yeah,
for
but
big dogs.
say that again.
We definitely had more than 8 big dogs back in the day.
Right. I think you had 3 big dog teams,
I
but
think we
that was
did.
only that when there are 3 height divisions.
Right, exactly.
So
That
now
was like
there's
2018
4.
or something.
Yeah, now there's 4 height divisions, so that's 2 teams per height.
Right.
Okay. And then I do know that the host country gets more dogs allowed. And then if there's room, they'll allow more dogs per country as well.
Yeah.
So apply, because you may get put on the wait list and then the host country says, okay, you can invite 4 more dogs, and voila, 4 more dogs come onto the team.
Yeah.
So
I forget. Alternate dogs, are they allowed to run individually? I know they can't run on team. Are they allowed to run individually?
I don't know the answer to that. Okay. So now what did you run when you were on the team? What classes did you run?
Ah, it kind of follows EO rules. So you have four, yes, 4 runs across the entire weekend.
Okay.
I think it's a 3-day running weekend, if I remember correctly, or it used to be. And you have 2 jumping runs and 2 standard, they call them agility, 2 standard runs. And those are split between team and individual. So when you're running in team, all of your runs kind of compound on each other. And I always remember that you
With your
had to have
with your
with
teammate.
your teammates. Yeah.
Right.
So if there's 4 of you in a team, you must run at least 3 non ED runs in order to even be on the board. So they just take the top 3 runs. And so I remember vividly in Luxembourg, I was the 4th dog to run, and they call it the anchor dog because if somebody falls in front of you, now you have to run clean. It's a lot of pressure. But Millie did real well. Millie never eat in Luxembourg. A little bragging thing there. Or she maybe eat once because she hit a jump, and but it was a whole thing. Anyway, never mind. So you have your teams that do agility and jumpers, and those are combined and individual. So if you have a really awesome first set with your teammates, you can get on the podium for that. And if you completely bomb it in the next like agility course or whatever, then unfortunately you guys kind of trickle down. But they can also combine it. So if you've done really, really well on both runs in your team, then you can be combined and you can also be on the podium for that. And it's the same for individual, but nobody else's scores matter except yourself, your own course,
Okay.
whatever that you do. I'm rambling now because I always remember that they would say to us that you have to run really, really, really safe in team. Be as fast as you can, but don't do stupid things, that might, cause an off course or whatever, because team is what matters. Team has people that are behind you that count on your run. And individual is where you kind of go all out because nobody else's scores are combined with yours. It is only you, and everybody else is going all out. And so if you don't go all out, you're not going to get anywhere. And
Okay.
so it's just kind of send and go, run as fast as you can.
Okay. All right. And so you ran 4 courses total. You were
Yes.
guaranteed 4 courses, right? And then in The Netherlands, didn't they have a finals course as well?
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they had a final. I don't think they had a finals course for the
I don't
what's it
remember
called?
finals.
The online. No.
So
Well, they
no,
might have had finals back in 2019 as well, but Eddie and I were definitely not in those. So I
oh
cannot.
yeah, I think they did have finals back in Switzerland.
They might have.
So Netherlands and
Um,
Switzerland had finals, but those aren't guaranteed. That's up to the host country.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's they take. I think it's like the top 25 dogs or
Yeah,
something.
I don't remember.
And then they have you
Okay.
run around for the podium. They
So
did
let's
not do it for online. I
okay, so
remember
let's
that.
talk about cost because cost is a big hurdle for us
Yes.
getting over to Europe. So the AKC pays for your dog's entry fee and your handler's uniforms. And you get two, I don't know, you got a couple of shirts and
Yeah, I remember it was three
bedding.
shirts and
Yeah, so
yeah,
and the
leggings, jacket, harness,
yeah, so
fleece.
AKC pays for that. They pay for your entry fee for your dog and then the handler's uniforms, but every other expense is self-funded.
Hmm.
So hotels, flights, all the costs associated with traveling with the dog is self-funded. There are some great sponsors that gave your dogs uniforms. So they gave your dogs harnesses. So Brilliant Canine
Yeah,
um,
Brilliant Canine is awesome.
sponsored your dog's uniforms. Gosh, and they were just awesome. Um, and then you had and the U.S. This was just U.S. individual. I don't know what other countries do, but for the U.S., the coach. So first off, the coach that you've had every single year has been Coach Susan Cochran.
Yeah,
Yes,
who's awesome.
yes,
Yes,
and then
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant
and then
person.
Caitlin Dries was also your coach,
Yeah, she was the assistant coach.
assistant coach. So and
Yes.
Coach Caitlin was every year, or did
Not in well, not in the COVID years. But we didn't go in COVID. But in theory, it was Deb Schulman,
okay,
who is a EO. I was going to say veteran, but she's been on EO very, very recently as
okay,
well.
and Deb
And then we
is
also had Debbie Dubay, who was our coordinator essentially.
yeah.
She's and she kind of helped with like funding and stuff and fundraising and knowing the best hotels and stuff like that. So the team really started to come together as I was aging out. I mean, it was brilliant in 2016, but we got a lot of people to help us as the time went on. And Debbie Dubay is awesome. I love you, Debbie, if you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, so currently those are the three. Deb,
Yeah,
so Coach Susan Cochran is the main coach, assistant coach Deb Schulman, and then Debbie Dubay is I can't remember what her official title is, but she was a lot of the
yeah,
fundraising help. She did a
yeah,
lot of the
she's
coordinating with the parents and the fundraising. So
yeah. I
um
remember she also did a lot of she walked us to the line. I vividly remember that.
oh,
Um,
helping day up
yeah,
on
so
course.
she is an agility competitor, so she knows how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so while it's self-funded, there was a lot of help and a lot of support to get fundraising. Not only individually, Coach Debbie DeBay would help you individually figure out how to get funded through crowdfunding and just different ideas of how kids can fundraise. But also, there's a team fundraiser which help pays for a meal that you guys all do together. There's a sponsorship that pays for a seminar. So that's the one thing I was going to say that the US does that I don't know if other countries do is the team management have put together a seminar every single year that you went.
Hmm.
And so it's somebody that is a top competitor in the country or the side country nearby that you're going to. So for Luxembourg, you guys traveled to Germany,
I
right?
believe we did. Yeah, it was an Ann Lentz seminar.
Yeah, and so yeah,
Yeah.
so Anne Lentz,
I always remember
yeah,
she said to us, "Oh, you guys will have to forgive my English." And she spoke the most impeccable English I had ever heard. She spoke better English than I did.
yeah, and then that's sponsored by Megan Foster sponsored that for a
Yes.
number of years. The team practice, no, team seminar.
Team seminar.
She
Yeah.
does she sponsors the team seminar, and then
Oh, we
there's
forgot about to talk about team practice though. Oh my gosh.
oh, that's right. Okay, so
we're
anyway,
in July.
yeah,
We need to
before
go back
we
to May.
yeah, so let's finish the costs out here. So lots of help fundraising, just a ton of help fundraising, and don't let. There's also a scholarship. There's a scholarship that
Yes.
you can apply for. So don't let cost be a prohibitive factor in applying. Apply, go for it, and let the fundraising help take you the rest of the way, because there is a lot of really good people out there that want to see juniors go the distance. And so they are willing to help you get there, even if it's not something that you could do on your daily life. So highly encourage you to apply. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk about team practice.
I know we forgot. I completely forgot about it. And it's
Yeah,
like
so
half the fun.
okay, so team practice is over Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And it used to be two of them. There used to be two of them, one that were done at the exact same weekend. So one was in the Midwest or the East Coast. I think it was Pennsylvania. And
Yeah.
then there was one that was done in California. Now,
Yes.
that was the first year that you did a team practice. They were separate.
Hmm.
And then every year after that, they were done
Missouri.
Missouri
Yeah.
at All Star Dog Sports, who's home of Lori Michaels and Cassandra Schmidt. So All Star Dogs, All Star
Yeah.
Agility, I don't know, All Star
Yeah.
in Missouri, and that was held over. It's still held over Memorial Day weekend, and highly encourage going to that as well. That's where you get
Yeah.
your uniform. That's where you get to meet your teammates that also go to team practice. You are doing team practice with either the coaches, or they've also brought in Cassie Schmidt and Lori Michaels did your team practice one year.
Yeah.
You got to talk with Greg Louganis,
I
right?
remember that. That was fun. Yeah.
Over a Zoom call. The whole team got to meet Greg Louganis over a Zoom call. Who is also an agility competitor, if you didn't know that.
Yeah. Fun fact.
So not only a competitive diver, Olympian, but also an agility enthusiast. Um, and so, yeah, we flew out to Missouri a couple of times to have you attend team practice, which is really good to kind of get a feel for how your dog's going to do on a flight, right? Gives you a
Yes.
little bit of just a hint as to how it's going to go. Teaches you about how to get a car with a dog, because there's a lot to traveling, and maybe we should do a whole thing on
Oh
traveling with
man.
your pet.
Yeah.
We're not experts, but we definitely learned a lot. So I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
congrats on all of your teams, and
Oh
thanks
golly.
for this subject. I had fun talking to you.
Yeah. If you have a junior in your life, please, 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 we should put the link in below. Please consider the Junior Agility World Championships. It genuinely changed my life. Um,
Awesome.
yeah.
Woof,
Yeah.
woof.
Woof woof. Go Team USA.
Go Team USA. Go get them.